Alrighty,
You know who all the alkies are.
Yep, all the alkies are getting off the bus. We are at the St. Augustine Distillery. Really excited. Here we go. We are at the St. Augustine Distillery. I'm really excited to do this tour because I do sell this product every day at Disney Springs. And this is a great, everybody told me it was a great tour. So now we're here.
It's a free tour.
And it's a free tour.
With free samples.
Where free samples of alcohol. Yeah. Can you get better than that? Probably not. So, yeah. Everybody needs a cocktail. I need a mule in mine. So excited to do this. Okay.
It's the old St. Augustine back in the day. There's still many of those houses that drive around, they're still there. That's the old houses. Have iPads on either side, email address, and sit on either one of them, they'll send it to cocktail recipes.
Sure.
Any new releases.
Free tours and tastings, you guys. This is fantastic. They have an excellent product. I have not tried their double cask whiskey though, but I do sell their vodka, gin, and rum on the daily. We have delicious cocktails that we make at Chef Art Smith's Homecoming for y'all. So yeah, I'm very interested about taking this tour. Something I've been looking forward to doing for a while. And of course, it's local and Florida, so support your local growers. It's gonna be fun. Yep, there you go. It used to be an old ice plant, this building. This is really cool. How ice was made. Oh. So they were like the Kristoffs of their time, honey. Ice maker. Big blocks of ice. So really cool. Breaking the ice, getting through the present. Yeah. Made in the USA. Oh, it tells you all the ingredients. You have wheat, making vodka, sugar canes for the rum. Yes, and then the gin. Gin is very characteristic. The flavors are different from each manufacturer. If you look at Hendrick's is a lot more of a cucumber flavor. This is a milder, more, and of course juniper berries are part of gin. Gin comes from Genevieve. It is a word for juniper, and that's why gin is called gin. But it has to have juniper berries in it, as well as, it can't be more than like 80 proof. But their mash is all different. Oh, this is their whiskey mash. So it's corn, wheat, and malted barley. But the botanicals inside each different gin is unique to that specific brand. Terroir, which is just like when you study wine and geography, it is where, like the climate, the geology, it does help grow that product. Here it's different, so because the soil, the climate, Florida is very warm. Got corn, barley, and here's the juniper berries. There you go. That's for the gin. Ah, see? I just said that. For ginseng, which is shortening of the Dutch word for juniper, which is Genevieve. They actually have a gin called Genevieve gin. I need to go find that gin, actually, honey. Did you know that? There's a gin called Genevieve gin. But the Dutch word is Genevieve for juniper. Very cool. Sustainability. Love it. Yeah, this place is a definite must-do. Cooperage. Coopers are people who make barrels. They are the guys who make barrels. History of alcohol excites me. I mean, I do have a degree in like mixology. I studied for half a year, 4 hours a day, 3 days a week. I went to the Bartenders and Beverage Union certified bartender course, which has a lot of historical, it's like a degree basically. So in mixology, bartending, all of that good stuff. So all of this stuff really excites me because it's stuff that I studied, and it's interesting. This is very, very interesting. History of distillation. Wow. Very cool. Yep. Not just Cooper tires. Coopers are actually barrel makers. Yeah. Very exciting. Nice. So, I'm so excited.
Oh, I love that smell.
Oh yeah. There's the big old pot still.
Yeah, I can't smell that anymore. You guys can smell this, like the sweetness of the barley and everything else.
Yeah.
Come on now, guys. Good to see me. Come back around. Great. Come on back around this way a little bit more, guys. Come on, fill in back there. I think I have half of St. Augustine on this tour. Great. Come on around, guys. All right. At least I can talk. There's no machinery going on, and not a lot of. We usually have a lot of racket. That's that rail I was telling you about, where the crane moved the block of ice from one side to the other side. Okay. Bourbon whiskey. We're going to start off in our mash tub behind me here, silver tub with the railing. Corn mash, wheat, and barley. We're to add water to it. It heats up 6 to 10 hours. As it heats up, it's going to produce a lot of sugar. From there, it'll be pumped in those fermentation tanks. Some of you can't see them, but square boxes against the window there. The distillers will check that for sugar. If there's too much sugar in it, they will add yeast to it. The yeast will eat up all that excess sugar. Approximately 1 week in there. It forms 3 byproducts: heat, CO2, and ethanol. You been on this tour before?
No, I'm a certified bartender, so I know
Oh,
products.
okay, great. You do that, that's great. All right, ethanol, at that point is 16%. From there, we pump it into the copper still to my left, called Bessie. We call her Bessie because one of the owner's grandma's name was Bessie, and Grandma Bessie loved to cook. Heats it up, several hours. The ethanol will evaporate first. Upper stomach, through her neck, down through the silver tubing, and down to 2-cylinder vats on the ground. Now, see those crystal clear tubs there? Sometimes it'll look like water running through there at that point. That could be bourbon. At that point, we call that bourbon low wines. Anywhere from 46 to 61 proof. Finally, it goes into the sister, Ella Fitzgerald, right behind me here. We call her Ella Fitzgerald because Ella Fitzgerald is a refined jazz singer. And that's what our Ella does, she refines it. Heats it up, several hours, heads, hearts, and tails of the bourbon. Remember the tails, happy cows, moo yeah. The head's so strong, you can't even bring it up to your nose. Sometimes I'll be proofing it down here. And that'll be anywhere from 141 to 161 proof. I can take my finger, check it, it burns. I'll go around to people and they go, oh my God, how hot, how burny it is. We can't use that, we get rid of it. However, in Europe, they can keep refining it, put fruit in it, and it's called grappa. We can't do that here, it's illegal. That's called bootlegging. So we get rid of it. We keep the hearts. Out of 750 gallons we begin with, we'll only be able to barrel 250. We'll proof that down from anywhere from 141 up to 110. And we'll put it in white oak bourbon barrels to age. And I'll tell you about the white oak bourbon barrel, called Little Girl. That's where we make our botanical gin. Gin there, vodka, rum, bourbon here. See the lights up there? See that silver box? That's called a transport. That'll have one of our products. Through gravity, the product will come down into a bottling machine. We have two of them now. There'll be two people at that pour, seal it, and put it in the box. They do 145 cases a day. A big bottling company will do that in 20 minutes. And if you ever, I think they might be at lunch, but if you ever see them working, I would last about 2.5 minutes in that job. It reminds me of Lucille and Ethel in a candy factory, if you've ever seen that. Follow me this way, guys. That's a terrible job. Follow me down this way. I think you're at lunch. Maybe they're not. One guy up here to do our jet. Guys, dedicated. You have a long time. What happened is they opened the door, she was standing there. She flew, hit her head on the barrel, down. We don't report it. We pick you up and put you in a bat. That did not happen. Did not spread that rumor. All right, bourbon whiskey. In order for a bourbon whiskey to be called a true bourbon whiskey, it has to have three major qualities. Number one, it's got to be made in the United States. Just like tequila comes from Mexico, and most champagne from France, a U.S. product. Not just Kentucky or Tennessee like they try to tell you, anywhere in the United States. Second of all, in order to be called bourbon, it's got to contain 51% corn mash. We use 60 in ours, 22% barley, 18% winter red wheat. And third of all, it's going to be aged in a white oak barrel like you see behind me here. Now the wood we buy to make these barrels costs 3 times more than amount other distillers. Why? A special processed white oak. We cut the trees down 3-inch squares, 6 feet long. We leave the wood outside for 3 years. The weathering will bring out the true oak flavor and give it a smooth texture. We'll then send that wood to a cooperage in Louisville, Kentucky. These barrels are handmade. There's only 5 of these companies. It's an art, a craft, and a business that's dying. There's 5 of them left. We use a Calvin Cooperage in Louisville. They'll make 165 barrels a day by hand. A big barrel company machines will do that in 40 minutes. We buy quality, not quantity. They'll make 2 size barrels for us, a 25 and a 53 like you see behind me here. After they make the barrel, they'll char the inside at 400 degrees, turn the white oak black. When we put our bourbon in there, it looks like water or vodka. When it comes out, it has a dark color like this. It's of chocolate, caramel, and oak flavoring. We double cask our bourbon, starting at 25, put in the 53. So that bourbon's getting a double dose of that charring.
What char do you use?
400. But I don't know what number it is, but they tell me 400 degrees, so I'm not sure what number it is. If the distiller was there, he could tell you. I don't know anything about that. All I do is we proof it down to 93.8 for you and I to drink it. Other distillers that put theirs at 120, they'll proof it down to 80. They get 1/3 more product, but we get a better tasting bourbon. Once we age bourbon in these barrels one time, we can never age bourbon in them again. Never age properly. We'll put our rum in it, we put our gin in it. There's a tea color effect, a little taste of oak flavor. We traded off the winery. After they made their port wine, after they aged their bourbon, put it in there for about 6 months, and that's the one I had in my hand. It's a limited edition. You only taste it and buy it here. It's called a port finished bourbon. This is 102 proof. All right. What they did, they took our bourbon barrels. They put their wine in it, port wine. So you have not taken the tour. They're asking about the port of bourbon wine. And I was excited when I got this bottle ready. Oh boy, a whole full bottle. Give me an empty one. But you can still kind of taste. I've been doing this for about 3 weeks, and I can still smell a little bit of the port and the wine. It's supposed to be very good, okay? Once we make, like I said, bourbon in these barrels one time, we'll sell these barrels to Ireland and Scotland. We'll sell these barrels to other wineries, other breweries. We sell these barrels to people like you and I. I had a lady buy one the other day to put her molasses in. One time for bourbon only. Okay? Who's got a dog here? Good. I have 2 rescue poodle somethings, Dudley and Penelope. Got them on a little dog rescue in Orlando, Florida as puppies 3 years ago. They're 21 years of age.
Wow.
Dog years. Yeah, dog years. That's how I explain our bourbon in North Florida. Why? Location, weather, ocean. Kentucky, Tennessee, hot, cold, a little humidity, no ocean. North Florida, warm, very hot, fall, winter. We get a winter here. You know, not from here, we do. I lived in Palm Beach County many years, in Florida Keys for a few. I might have 2 weeks, so I get 2.5 months here at least. And we had a cold one, which I like for a change. Spring, summer, hot, humid, 90 plus. If you live in Florida, you know what that's like. A lot of rain, 5 miles from that ocean. That product in these barrels breathe that in. And they age according like you and I. Anywhere from 2.5 to 4 years. According to the numbers on the barrels. The distillers will check it, see when it's exactly when it's time for you and I to drink it. Release it. Barrel up there, see it leaking? That's common. These barrels will all not do that. They don't know how to leak. But, however, they lose 15 to 18% of the product before we bottle it. They call it evaporation. I don't call it that. I call it angel's share. They got to drink too. Your turn to drink. Belly up to the cowboy bar. Come on around, guys. Best part's coming up. I still. Last week by one of those dead cowboys, right? See that shot there? It missed me. I do have my gun here, though. Okay, you see any dead cowboys here today?
Oh, no, that door just closed on me.
Ah, okay. Put the gun down. I don't even know how to use it. Gun down, head off. Pull my hair for you folks. Wash my hands. Now I become your bartender. Smiles now? Yeah. All right. Who here's ever had a Moscow Mule? Raise your hand. Moscow Mule. Woo! You guys like it?
Yes. Yeah.
Would you all like to try one?
Yes, please.
What?
Yes, please.
I'm not gonna get one. I'm gonna give you a Florida Mule instead. Fair enough? All right. Let's see the similarities and differences. All right. Both those cocktails are made in a copper cup like this. The reason being, once I put my ingredients in, put my ice in it, it's going to frost it up and keep the drink nice and cold during the whole drinking process. Our 2 stills back there, Bessie and Ella, keeps it very, very hot. Very, very cold, very, very hot. You can't spoon. Your Moscow Mule is made out of a Russian vodka, made out of either potato, grain, ginger beer, and simple syrup. We're not in Russia, are we? Yeah, right. We are in Florida, St. Augustine, Florida. We're going to use a distilled once sugarcane vodka, 80 proof, and it's gluten-free, so it's good for you.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Feel better now?
Yes.
I drink this with a shot of eggs and bacon in the morning, shot of this at lunchtime with peanut butter and jelly, shot of this, and after with pot roast, shot of this before I go to bed, and shot of this when I get up and go to the bathroom. I feel fine the next day. I've never tried that. All right, 2 ounces. We're going to take our mule mix. Funny color, right? Does not come from the inside of a mule, no worries. We used to have to hand make this stuff, we hated it. That's when I started working, nobody liked it. Take limes, cut the lime juice, lime, take the ginger, mash the ginger, pull the pulp out of the ginger, take sugar, add water to it, heat it up, and pour it into these big old serving bottles that we demonstrated with. Everybody hated it, nobody ever made it the same. Finally, the owners go, Tim, we're gonna go to this about 7 months ago, and thank God. All natural, same ingredients, all consistent. Better bottle for me than that big bottle. Grandson's football game Friday night, church functions, nobody knows. Back in the cooler, back in the fridge, good to go again next week. So this is mule mix, the ginger in here is gonna give this drink a kick. So taste here in a minute. We're gonna go back in time and use a Mr. Lewis bag. It looks like a money bag, right? Well, Mr. Lewis got the idea during Prohibition, crush your ice in this bag. He put a patent on it. His family's still getting royalties on it today. We're not the only people that sell this. That's how they crush the rice. Mr. Lewis bag. This is Lewis hammer. I wonder why. You want to hold his bag while I hit it? Little heads up, guys. You decide to buy this bag and this hammer before you leave here today, and take it home and try to show off to your friends on weekends. Do not try to attempt this on your countertop after you have 3 drinks. It does not work. Been having a bad day? All right. Let's see what I made here. Florida snow. More. Now, I'm going to put 3 ounces of club sodas, 2 and 2 and 3. Now I'm going to do something very important to the drink. I'm going to homogenize it. Did you ever go to a craft cocktail bar, you order 2 of these vodka drinks, you get your bill, it's $28, you go, bartender, $20 for 2 vodka drinks, why sir? He goes, well son, I used the word homogenize twice, it cost you $4 each. I said, what's it mean? Stir it. No. Tell the bartender, what are you going to do with my drink? Do not homogenize it, stir it. Flat end always on the way back. The ice is already starting to bond against the side. Just never shake this drink because the automatic club soda is going to take it, penetrate from the top to the bottom. And the other drink is made with lime, right? Moscow Mule.
Right.
Is that minty? Okay, can I use your nose one more time? You can leave it on your face. Here? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Lying on its belly, give it a love tap, releases all these juices, right? Okay? You can rub it at the edge of the top of the cup here. Leave it there. See it frosting up? Here you have your Florida Mule. This is when you clap. fire up over here. We have to make this up because we're so busy. Try to make a drink every time you have somebody to keep on beer all day.
Orange juice, it does have orange, ginger juice, lemon juice, cinnamon, and
This is starting to fail. What? This is starting to get a little.
It does have a little bit of sugar because of the, a lot of sugar because of the sugar cane. Good for you, it tells you what to put in it. Seltzer, they didn't put seltzer in it.
That bourbon barrel, about 120 days in it. Gives it a oak flavor. You will not taste this in this drink here today because of the other ingredients I make. But if you go upstairs and taste it by itself, it's called a taste in our tasting room. What's it called? I forget it. But ask them about tasting this. You'll taste the oak flavoring. Sugar cane molasses 90 proof. 2 ounces. 2 ounces of our tiki mix. All natural, pineapple, cherry, vanilla, coconut, cinnamon, eggnog. Which one did I miss? I missed them, well, a few of them anyway. There's so many of them. It's all natural. Very, very, very good. And we'll take 2 ounces, 2 ounces, 3 ounces of club soda, give it the $4 stir. We put it into our ceramic cup like this. The reason being, in Hawaii, they give you this cup, they put the gods outside on the outside of it to keep the spirits away from you. We put the distillery in ours to keep the spirits in you. Did you get that? All right. All right, so $4 stir, beautiful stuff. You go to the beach in Hawaii, they give you one of these with the umbrella with the pineapple and cherry. We're not in Hawaii though, are we? But we might need this umbrella today tomorrow, right? Does it rain? This is today's umbrella. If you were 5 months ago, it's a hurricane umbrella. There you have the rum tiki.
Tiki mix is extremely well balanced. You could taste the pineapple, you could taste the coconut, and it's not overly sweet. It does have nutmeg and cinnamon, just like when we go to Trader Sam's. Oh yeah, rum's gonna have the highest because it's got a lot of molasses. And drink it within 2 weeks. Like I said, it's all natural, no preservative. Like it's all natural ingredients. But that's good for a party. Just make a big trough of it for a party. That's delicious. Definitely, the rum tiki is great. Served with the St. Augustine rum.
What do we got left here?
Very cool. And also have their little tiki.
Hold on, I got more here. Hold
Very cool. Indeed.
Stop, there we go. Let's get a final. Then we go to the next part, let's get a final. This is your final with me. But there's no more finals. Go up there and get some more. Feel better? All right. I'm making a new road gin and tonic. If not, make it. I'll tell you how we make it. I can't demonstrate on enough time right now. Anybody? Where's my gin haters at? Come up here.
Oh, I can pretend I hate it.
There you go. All right. We're going to take our New World gin. 94 proof. Made out of sugar cane. We want 80, 90, 94 proof. We're going to take 2 ounces of our gin, 3/4 ounce of our tonic water. Does that look like the tonic you buy at the grocery store? No. Now you buy that clear bubbly stuff, right? Yeah. You buy it about the 3rd day, you make yourself a drink, and it's flat, you gotta throw the bottle away, you gotta throw the tonic away. 2 to 3 months, unless you invite me over your house. All right, see the dark color?
Yeah.
It comes from the bark of the chichina tree. It's an all-natural bark, South American tree. It brings out the true quinine flavor, gives it its color. Okay? Also paired with pear juice and other natural ingredients. All right? 2 ounces, 3/4 ounce. 3 ounces of club soda. Good to go. The old days, they sold us for everything. backaches, headaches, eye aches, earaches, stomach aches, malaria, diphtheria. Guess what this is good for today? Leg cramps.
Leg cramps.
3/4 of an ounce, vodka, soda, or gin.
Yes.
You're good to go. All right? So I call this our afternoon tea. Feel better now?
Yes.
All right, let's give this young lady a try. Hi, guys.
Name's just Joey. Sorry, Tim gets a little confused sometimes. This is his last score of the day, so he's already gone. So, first off, you guys had fun with Tim, right? Yeah. Excellent. On that tour with Tim, you learned a little bit about us, about the history of our building, about our single batch distillation method. We used a bunch about that double cask bourbon. Yes. We now have the pleasure of showcasing that bourbon for you in a classic cocktail, the old fashioned. Once we take care of that old fashioned, well, we're going to open up our neat bar for you. So if you want to try anything that we make on its own without any mix or step up, tell us what you're looking to try. We'll be happy to pour a sample for you. All right. We have those limited releases upstairs as well, including the limited release of port finished bourbon. If you like bourbon, you can't leave without trying it. It is really, really good. If you don't like bourbon, you really shouldn't leave without trying that port finished bourbon. Yeah, as we just covered, it's really, really good. It's also a free sample, so you might as well. Okay? Now, I also want to just take a moment while you're all here to thank you for coming out and taking a tour with us today, because when you're here, you're not just supporting us, you're helping to support all the small businesses in town we've partnered with, you're helping our local economy, and of course our local farmers. So on behalf of everybody involved in our awesome little project here, thank you so much, guys. We would have no shot at this without your support. A big round of applause for your awesome tour guide, TripAdvisor cards on the corner of the bar here. Grab one on your way upstairs. Leave him a review. Let him know how he's doing. We really pay attention to those. And, well, if he's lucky, he leave him some good reviews. Yeah, maybe in the next year or two, Tim, you'll be getting that raise. So come on up.
Oh man, I love being here. Every time I walk through those doors, I'm like, huh? All my drinks are here. All right, guys. My name is Mark. Welcome to the Bourbon Bar. We're about to have a little bit of an old fashioned, guys. It's going to be one of the quickest ones that you've ever seen made because we've already taken out the aspect of the muddling of the ingredients, which also means we've taken out the guesswork. Now you learned on your tour today that we've got all sorts of different recipes for cocktails here, and we know that a lot of people like drinking bourbon on its own or need bourbon in a glass. I can't think of anything I like better than that, but I mean, come on, it's Florida. It's hot, it's humid, it's almost always hot and humid. Not a bad idea to have a few ice cold cocktails in your repertoire that are mostly going to be bourbon anyway, right? And that's just what the old fashioned is. It is a nice, refreshing, very, very cold and very, very strong way to enjoy bourbon, right? So even in the state of Florida with our humidity and our heat, it's a really great summertime cocktail. I'm so tired of hearing people say, oh, when the summertime hits, I switch from bourbon to vodka. I tried that once. I lasted maybe 15 hours. Then I was in the lab with my lab coat on trying to figure out a way to make a bourbon cocktail that I can enjoy in the summer. So here we go, guys. We're using our bottled mix, all natural Florida golden cane sugar, molasses, ginseng roots, cinchona bark, orange peel, and water. So that has all of your sugars, all of your sweeteners, all your bitters, your herbs, your spices, even your garnish. Now we've already muddled that up for you. You're welcome. Good afternoon, guys. So it's a concentrated syrup there. Now we also age that concentrated syrup in our very own used bourbon barrels because the real star of the show is not the mix. It's a bourbon forward cocktail. We're going to be using our double cask bourbon, guys. Now, in order for this to be a bourbon forward cocktail, that means that we cannot stop at 1 part bourbon, right? This is the first legally distilled, aged, and bottled bourbon to be made completely in the state of Florida. We've got a 93 out of 100 in Tasting Panel Magazine, gold medal at the SIP Awards in California, and you wouldn't see why any of that is after 1 part. So we're going to go ahead and go with 2. Now, mathematically, 1 part mix and 2 parts bourbon makes this cocktail bourbon forward. But we also won the triple gold medal at the Chicago Micro Distillery Awards, and what does triple mean? 3. That is an excellent idea. We're going to go ahead and go with 3. Now here's one thing that's really, really cool about bourbon. I see too many people that will say, oh, that's my nice bottle. I'm saving that and leaving it sealed for a special occasion. Well, for those of you that did not know, today is National Volunteer Recognition Day, so we're going to go ahead and go 4 parts bourbon. I looked it up on a website, guys. It's really easy to find an excuse when you're looking for one. Trust me. All right, so there we go. Turns out 17th was actually National Bat Appreciation Day, so I had a bourbon then as well. Now, guys, all of these cocktails are just suggestions, so you can do whatever you would like to do with this. You can read the recipe there, and you can say, well, 1 part mix. How many ounces is in a part? I don't care. What are you using? If you want to use one of these, that's a part. If you want to use one of these, give me a call. But you can say, you know what, 4 parts sounds all fine and well, but I think this would be really good with 7 or 8 parts bourbon. Yeah, try it. Absolutely, guys. You might even be thinking, I bet you if I top this off with a little bit of ginger beer, that'd be really good. That's the way my girlfriend likes it, guys. There's only one proper way to drink a good bourbon, and that's however you prefer. And half the fun is finding out, because I see so many people that want to be bourbon lovers, but they'll always have that friend, the bourbon expert, that will say, you don't ever mix a good bourbon. Yes, you do, if you want a good cocktail. Think about it. I'm not a big fan of Coca-Cola plain, but I know that if I add a couple ounces of bourbon, that's going to be a great beverage. Just remember, life is short, guys. We're the fragile ones in this whole system. We're always going to be filling more barrels of bourbon. So when you have your friends and family over, open that bottle. Empty that bottle. You're going to end up with a lot of memories, a lot of stories, and a lot of laughter. And I'm pretty sure if I invited Joey over to say, look at all my sealed bottles, boy, I bet they're delicious. That's no fun for him. What's fun is if we open up a bottle of this and empty it. That's fun for everybody, right? And we hate running out, so we started a distillery. We're always going to make some more. Come on up and try the old-fashioned, guys. One of my favorite recipes for this as well, pour the bourbon into a glass, present to it a bottle of the mix, and say, hey, look, mix. Set that down, and then you got a cocktail. That's it. Glass of bourbon and a glass of water. It doesn't get any more old-fashioned than that, guys. Have fun with it. We're not making decorations. We're making bourbon to be enjoyed. And we frankly don't care how you enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Truth is, though, if you have somebody in your life that does not like bourbon and you find a way to make them like bourbon, you have to adult-proof your cabinets, guys. That happened to me.
It's your birthday bourbon. Mom's birthday bourbon. Don't need an excuse. There you go.
Yes, sir.
This is great. I found a website literally every day of the year. It has a holiday, so.
Take good care of my man. I know him from Detroit. Port and double cast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, we sell all your product. I work at Chef Martin's Homecoming. So
Oh, cool.
At Disney Springs, so we have all your
That is
products.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Now you get to see our story.
Yeah, we missed
All right, guys. Did everybody enjoy the old-fashioned? Did anybody not receive an old-fashioned? Excellent. All right, guys. Well, if you are interested in trying that limited release port finished bourbon, that is actually one of my favorite things that we make here. And so if you want to try that, guys, it is the result of putting our double cast bourbon into port wine barrels for an additional 4 months or so. Joey's going to be your best friend, guys, so come on back up. I did not use the port finish in the old-fashioned. However, if that's what you like and you want to make an old-fashioned, go for it. But if you want to try anything neat, guys, the neat bar is now open. Joey's going to be demoing that port finished bourbon. Anything else, come on and see me. Yeah, that's what Joey's about to do. Yep. Slide around the bar.
All right, guys. Again, if you want to try that limited release of port finished bourbon, now is the time to bring it back up to the bourbon bar. We are going on a little adventure. You take the double cask, it goes in those port barrels from the San Sebastian winery. It's aged about 4 additional months in there. So trying this first gives you a really good idea of how that 4 months affects the flavor of our bourbon. So come on up, try this double cask bourbon. It's a lovely 93.8 proof. Again, triple gold medal winner at the Chicago Micro Distillery Awards. Took home the gold at the SIPs in California there. Esquire calls it the best whiskey in the entire state of Florida, and Tasting Panel has given it a 93 out of 100 rating.
It's all French. We make it right here.
Not totally evil, just a little bit.
The bourbon.
So, as I set these cups up, guys, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our crown jewel there. That is our port finished bourbon. We entered our port finished bourbon in the SIP Awards in San Francisco as well. There were over 150 bourbons at that competition, and they awarded 12 platinum medals. That's the highest they give out there. Our port finished bourbon was able to snag one of those 12 platinum medals, but we didn't stop there. They also named our port finished bourbon the best in class at that show. So this is something really, really special. And, well, since I didn't have to pay for this bottle, I will share it with you. Yeah, I don't share this one at home. If you don't believe me, ask Clark.
No, it's really boring, guys. He's the one that goes, look at my nice collection.
No, I drink mine.
Yours. You drink yours.
Yeah.
Everyone else is BYOB.
Yeah, I share the double cask and everything else, but the port finish is special. So, anyways, here it is, guys. This is the limited release of port finish bourbon, a little stronger than the double cask you just tried. This one is checking in at 102 proof. Now, while it is a little stronger, it should be a little sweeter on your palate, a little less smoky on the finish as well.
I want to hear that sound. I want to hear that.
That's for him. He loves it. Oh, no, I know. I'm going to drink my rum tiki. Chug. Extra bitters just for you. So fun. See, we can't have nice things at my bar because we break beakers. They quit buying us beakers because we broke them all. That is so cool. Look at the old-fashioned cash register. That is so cool. A million kinds of bitters for days. I had the whole collection over there. True craft bar. There you go. Nice. It's so nice when somebody else is making you drinks. It's more fun that way. Spirits. They actually have different kinds of ice too. Awesome. Oh, hey, all right. Have it. Thank you so much. So cute. Yay. Cute. Make it nice. It's the ball spear. That's what you gotta be drinking your port finished. Does that instantly make it, or is it just a shaper? You need to come here, you guys. If you are a big fan of true craft bars and craft cocktails, this is the place to go. They have a plethora of different drinks here. Kind of showing you just what they got. These are the drinks. Yeah, I saw that. That is awesome. I need a jigger holder like that. Florida Mule, these are the drinks that they serve over at the tour, so you could definitely have that. I'm having the rum tiki, and Rob is getting their double cask old fashioned. Classic cocktails, Moscow Mule Caipirinha, paper plane, a penicillin, wow. Punches, they have mocktails as well. Sparkling pamplemousse beer, 28 days later. Ooh, that's interesting. Look, white rum, overproof rum, grapefruit, lime, pineapple, falernum, and cinnamon. Oh, punch bowl. That's what that is. Okay. They have a lot of different interesting things. Prosecco, liquor to go. You can buy it by the bottle, so they sell it by the bottle, the liquor by the bottle. Red wine, daiquiris, happy hour. from 10 p.m. to 1:30. They're open late. Very nice, and some snackable things too. So that is super duper cool. Yeah. So if you're a big fan of like what a real bar is like, you need to come here. Definitely check it out because this is a true craft cocktail bar. This is right up my alley. Like, I would love to work in a place like this. It's kind of like fun, you know? They do absinthe. They have a little absinthe here. Exactly. It's a craft cocktail. That's what it is. It's all mixed, yes. And then what did they say it was a 1942, that truck? What was it again? No, the Chevy truck.
Yeah, it's a 1941.
Something, a 1942 Chevy. Very, very cool. We didn't get to eat lunch, but we did have a cocktail at the Ice Plant Bar. It's right here. So good. Dining and vintage bar.